guys, welcome to my blog. I'm Melissa, and this blog is all about life, love, reading, writing, cooking, anything that really tickles my fancy. I'm 28 years old, or I will be on Friday, and in March, I'm going to be having my 28th surgery. Yes, you heard that right, 28 surgeries. Probably wondering why, because let's face it, most people wonder why about that. And I tell a lot of people because at this point, I couldn't care less. I was born with a condition. It's called Vacterl. See this card? Now, when I was born, it was called Vatter. And then it turned into Vactor, and now it's Vacterl. And somebody told me recently that there's an S somewhere, but I don't really know what that means. Basically, it's a condition that a lot of people have, but a lot of people don't know about it. And, lucky me, it leaves you permanently disabled. Yes, look at me now. Do I look disabled? No, I don't think I do. Most people don't think I do. But in the eyes of the state, or whoever deems you permanently disabled, I am. And that's because I've had 27 surgeries. And I have many conditions, including heart condition, stomach condition, back condition, all of which I'll tell you about if you really want to know. And let's face it, you really want to know. Because you're probably thinking I'm a little freaky right now. But that's okay. I think so too. It's a good thing. Anyway, my first surgery was probably the age of 3 days, 2 days maybe, if I'm lucky. And I've had them consistently almost every year. 16 of them, of the surgeries of course, I had before I was 12. And recently it seems like every year or so I'm having another surgery, whether I like it or not. And let's face it, who really likes surgery? It's kind of weird to talk about it, to be honest, because for the longest time I didn't want to admit that I had a problem. I didn't want to admit that I was sick or disabled or different. You know, I lived most of my life hoping that no one would notice that I was different, let alone point it out and, you know, make me admit it. But recently, I decided that I don't care anymore if people know. I don't want to hide pretending that I'm someone that I'm not. I'm disabled. Deal with it. I can do anything you can do, basically, for the most part, and I may actually be able to do it better. But people don't see that because, you know, they see me as this disabled person. Though some people tell me that they don't think I'm disabled or they don't see it because, like I said, I look normal. You know, I'm short, 4'10", 90 pounds. I don't look anything different except how tall I am until you look closer. I have scars everywhere. As you can see, I have one right here. Don't know if you can tell with the shadow, but that's not the only scar I have. I have one on my chest, I have one on my back, stomach, thighs, wrists, ankles, feet. Basically, I think the only place I don't have a scar is my head. And technically that's not even true because I got my wisdom teeth out, which was a surgery in the hospital, lucky me, and I had stitches. But you can't see it inside, and let's face it, why would I open my mouth to show you my non-existent scar? But I think now I decided that it was time to introduce everyone to me and to this condition because there are so many people who have it, and I'm one of the lucky ones. I know people who have 50 surgeries, 75, over 100. And, you know, there's so many things that people don't know about this. Doctors, hospitals. You know, I went to a doctor. I had to find a new adult cardiologist because I outgrew my pediatric one. And he didn't know what I was talking about with my heart condition. You know, my mom and I, and yes, I still go to the doctor with my mom, you know, we were telling them about my condition. You know, oh, I've had 2 heart surgeries and, you know, my blood doesn't pump through normally. And he was ready to put me in the ER. You know, his biggest plan was to, okay, if something happens, this is what we do. P.S. Nothing's happened in about 20-something years. You know, I had the 2 heart surgeries and knock wood, I've been doing fine. So why are we jumping the gun? And if anyone's curious, I did not stay with that doctor. I found a new doctor. And then he went to Texas, and then I found another new doctor. It's been doctor after doctor lately. So March, having my 28th surgery on my right foot. 2 years ago, I had it on my left foot because my bones aren't fully separated. So that's fun. I'll be in another cast. Which actually, my first foot surgery back in 2014 was the first time I've ever actually had a cast on. Which is surprising because of all these surgeries. But it's the first time. So this will be the second time. And I've learned that having a cast isn't as fun as people think it is. I'm sure if you're a kid, it's fun, because everybody signs it and you're the cool kid. But as an adult, it's actually pretty annoying. But, I have this medical condition, and it has defined me. It has defined my life and how I lived it. And I think now is the time to show you how it defined me. But not in the bad way. I am married. I have a house. I have a college degree. So really, as bad as I might have thought this medical condition was when I was younger, it's really not that bad. It's a pain in the butt. And there have been times where I went into a depression, and I'll tell you all about that. But overall, it's what I have to deal with. It's not something I can hide from anymore. I'm an adult. It's time for me to grow up and make my own decisions. I might go to the doctor with my mom, but ultimately it's my decision what I'm doing. It's my body. It's my medical stuff. And no one can make that choice for me anymore. As a kid, I had my mom making all these choices. Now it's my turn. I can't hide behind, pretending to be normal and cool and, nothing's wrong with me. Because it's up to me to make my life the best that it can be. And I don't want my pretend, life or the life I wanted to happen to get in the way of what I have. And it's time to deal with it. And I want to take you on that journey with me because I want to educate people about this. There's more and more kids being born with this condition and no one knows what it is. No one knows where you get it. My sisters, I have 2 older sisters, completely normal. My family, completely normal. What the hell happened to me? I don't care. I'm not, hating the world or hating my parents for making me this way, which, by the way, I don't think they made me this way. I think it was just a genetic screw-up. To be honest, it was a mutation. I'm a mutant. I know my mom, blames herself for this. What could she have done better? What could she have done? But in reality, it's not her fault. Just like it's not my fault. But how many more mothers and fathers and families are going to think the same way? And it's the fear of the unknown and the fear of this condition that harms people and harms family and breaks them up. What's easier to break up a family than stress? And I don't want that for people. So if my life can shed a little bit of hope on somebody else, I'm all for it. I'm 28 years old. It's so time to stop hiding. And so I figure I'll make this vlog. Now my blog, my real blog online, will be a mixture of these blogs and writing because I love cooking. I've decided that, every week I'm going to make a new meal, mostly in the crock pot because the crock pot's awesome, for me and my husband. So I want to share those meals. I take pictures. I want to share my pictures. And I have really awesome writer people that I know that really can use the attention. And I'm an avid reader. If nothing else, that's what my conditions made me. I read a lot. I've read over 2,000 books and I keep going. So I want to bring light to my favorite authors and to, other people who love to read. So stay tuned. This vlog will have a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and a bit of fun, I hope. And I hope you like this vlog because I would love to share my story with you. I would love for you to know what makes me me and how I overcame this medical condition that everybody thought I was going to succumb to. Because, you know what? That's what life is. Getting over and moving past things that you didn't think you could. So, thank you for joining me. I hope I see you again, and I hope I didn't scare you off. Follow my blog, come subscribe, and let's find out how to do this together, right? Thanks. Have a great night.